for the musicians. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my experience on another brand I've never heard of until recently, Acous, and this is their latest release, the NA20, which is a single dynamic driver IEM coming in at about $119 US. I believe somewhat similar to Fat Freak, where Acous started off with custom IEMs for musicians, then slowly branching out to releases for the masses. So will the NA20 make a strong impression? Before we dive deeper into that, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Acous for sending this unit in exchange for honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own and are not influenced by any party. If you've been enjoying my content, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button. That will help the channel a lot and I appreciate your support. Also, they provided you with stickers and a mic cable if you purchase this IEM during the promotion launch period. These are really nice stickers for collection or for kids. Well, some of them anyway. The unboxing experience is pretty special. It's like opening a CD back in the day, only the thickness is like 5 times more. You have the ring on the right with the CD design holding the IEMs, and on the left you have the manual, again very similar to opening a CD where you've got the lyrics on the cover page. Under that you've got a carrying case, which is your standard generic carrying case, but with Acous design touches. It also comes with a 3.5 to 6.4mm converter. On the right, taking out the CD ring holding your IEMs, you've got a set of ear tips with Acous branding on it, and under that you have the IEM cable, and it's very lightweight, so depending on where you are in the cable camp, I personally like some heft and thickness to my cables, but this is aimed towards traveling musicians, so it makes sense to make it lightweight. But the terminations have a nice design and the color scheme matches the design of the IEM. Nothing groundbreaking about this cable, it's QDC connector, so back to security, but it's often associated with budget categories. Speaking of about design, the subtle choices made by Acous for this IEM design, like the transparent faceplate with the dynamic driver peeking through, that's a nice little touch. The cleanliness of the design logo, the gold accent that complements the brown color scheme makes this IEM stand out a little bit more than your usual typical generic designs, and I really like how clean and cohesive this IEM looks. Also, this IEM is really light. Like once it was in my ears, it just feels like it disappeared, which I feel is a huge benefit for musicians again during a gig. The ear hook is also a little bit more secure, not that you need it considering how lightweight this IEM is, but it helps with the overall experience. It's one of the shining aspects of this IEM. So for sound, they are touting this IEM to be a safe and warm sounding IEM, and in part it's true where the bass is the prominent aspect of this IEM. Full-bodied bass notes, hitting hard and strong, there's that satisfying rumble that gives some background effect to the overall sound. However, having such a prominent bass department does mean some sacrifices has to be made. So vocals, while having that fullness to their singing, does get taken over by the bass sometimes, so it's not the cleanest or clearest sounding mid-range, but I don't think it's intended to be. They've also added some spikes to counter the amount of bass coming through, but it does sound like there's a bit of distance, so you're not getting that openness or sharpness coming through in the treble extension like for trumpet notes. So I feel it's enough to cut through the amount of bass coming in, but there's still some takeover from the bass. Soundstage is more on the intimate side, detail retriever is just okay. As mentioned earlier, bass is dominant here. So much so that it's masking some of the subtle nuances in the track. All in all, if you're just looking for a warm, full-bodied presentation with nice bass attacks, this is another IEM that can deliver that for you. However, comparing it against my top pick for budget IEMs, the Caffeine Clean. Once you go to the clean from the NA20, the presentation just opens up. The bass note sounds more rounded, the mid-range is cleaner, and details are coming through clearer. It's good to know that I have options if I want to go for something with a lot of bass, but still have other aspects of the frequency coming through a little, which is what the NA20 sort of brings to the table. But if you're looking for a more quote-unquote mature sound or audiophile sound, then the Caffeine Clean is that step-up experience. So to sum it all up, the more I use this IEM, the more I understand what they're targeted towards. Musicians looking for a lightweight IEM to use for their gigs that will stay secure in their ears while having the benefit of listening to a warm and bassy presentation. The Acous NA20 has a very safe tuning that will appeal to the general masses, but its unboxing experience and packaging is a lot more special than the IEM itself. And if you're looking for that audiophile sound at this price category, there are plenty of available options out there. However, this is all based on one man's experience and I'm curious to know your thoughts. What's your favorite Acous IEM to date? Comment below and let me know, and with that all said, thank you once again to Acous for this opportunity and to all of you for watching. Until the next video, take care and happy listening.